Coming up, we have stories about grown-ups oversleeping and blaming everyone else, being allergic to pain, not liking pizza creates mother-in-law drama, trap questions in a relationship, husband liking Instagram posts of other women. Is that you, Kenny? In-laws eating all the food and getting mad when you get more policing what their daughter-in-law eats, embarrassing someone and yourself, the college edition, and a reward story, an update to Am I the Astronaut for telling my wife my childhood friend will never forgive her for what she did. Am I the astronaut for not waking up a tourist who overslept and missed the day trip she paid for? Hi guys, I'm 21 female, a Bulgarian tour guide who accompanies groups to Sicily. On a recent trip, one woman who was traveling alone, mid-30s, was consistently oversleeping. The first day after we arrived, we had a day trip to Etna and Taormina, for which we depart at 8 a.m. as we do all other day tours. I make sure that all tourists are informed of the departure times on the bus the day before, and they also have my number to call in case they forget so I can remind them. They also all have printed out pamphlets with the schedule made by the travel agency that I hand out that has the time for departure on it. All of the group was on time, except one woman. She was late by 10 minutes, which, okay, maybe she got caught up in something and was late. I excused it, then mentioned to the whole bus in the mic that I do not tolerate lateness by beyond 15 minutes at most in case of emergency like a forgotten possession, and that I must always be called and informed in case someone is running late. Trip went by okay otherwise. The next day, the same tourist was late again by 25 minutes. Oh, she testing boundaries now. Is this tourist 4 years old? Seems like something a 4-year-old might do. Almost an entire half hour. I called her twice to no answer, and we were just about to leave without her when she came out running and got on the bus. She got lucky, as the receptionist of the hotel asked me about a missing piece of info on the rooming list and earned her some time. I reminded everyone again that I will not be waiting anymore for late tourists in the morning, and waking up on time is their responsibility. When we came back that evening, she asked me if I could make sure to wake her up on time. I reminded her a third time that I am not responsible for waking people up. Everyone gets a printed itinerary with departure times, and I announce everything the day before. She kept saying, no, just knock on my door if I'm not out by 8:15. And I kept repeating, I really can't do that for everyone. Please set an alarm. Well, on the day that we were visiting Syracuse, she didn't show up. I waited 15 minutes after the supposed departure time, called her twice to no response, and left with the bus and the rest of the group. She called me in a panic about an hour later asking where we were.
An hour?
I explained the situation calmly. She got angry and said that I had one job and that I cheated her out of the money she paid to go on that trip. Whoa, hold on.
No, babe.
You had one job? Wait. She said that you had one job and that one job was waking her ass up?
No, babe.
No, babe. She missed the whole day trip and was furious the next day. Later, she told the rest of the group that I abandoned her and also called my agency, leaving a bad review about me. Am I the astronaut for not personally waking up a grown woman despite warning her multiple times that I wouldn't? No, you are not.
NTA, 100%.
You are not. Look, how many warnings did she get?
3.
I lost count because it was like
she struck out
multiple times. During each time, it was
she called her. She called her twice, and then she didn't call her back for an hour. Like, why you entitled B?
I'm curious why somebody with, as Taylor you put it, this level of terrible time management would want to be traveling abroad alone. Like how that's
with a group, like, or I don't know.
That's a recipe for disaster. Even if you're with a group tour, she's still traveling alone. Like, right. How did she ever make it there in the first place? How did she ever get on the plane? You know what I mean? Like how? It's just got to be luck that she actually gets where she's going in life. It has to be just dumb luck.
Can't you like request a wake up call
at a hotel?
I mean, is that still a thing?
Yes. You know what? There are also apps that will give you wake up calls. And there's also the handy alarm clock. No, but there are like wake up call apps too that you could you could get an actual wake up call through an app.
Yeah.
I'm sure that exists. I'm pulling that out of my ass, but I'm surely that kind of thing exists. And if it doesn't,
maybe it will.
Maybe Dusty Thunder can start waking people up.
With your voice. Get your ass out of bed.
Hello. You are currently at AskOn 3. Should you continue sleeping and not getting out of bed, you will elevate to AskOn 2 quite quickly.
That would be so fun.
It would really be fun.
That's amazing. Mine would just
No,
be...
Candy Thunder will be in the background.
I would be berating.
Candy Thunder will be in the background going, what the f-? Okay, here's the edit. I talked to my manager today. I was nervous at first because I was already tired of this whole shenanigan and didn't want to spend ages defending myself. So I went to him first and explained the situation before he approached me. He told me, word for word, "Hun, I deleted that BS from my email as soon as I read it. LOL, an icon. They'll remove the bad review."
Yay.
That's awesome. That is super
That
duper
makes me
duper
happy.
cool. I do think bad reviews in general, I think, like, I personally as a consumer don't believe in removing bad reviews. I think I learn it is the best window for me to be able to see who this business really is, how they handle problems, watching how they handle problems. Yes,
Yeah,
their response is everything I need to know.
Yeah, we've had someone leave a bad review about our agency, and we came back with receipts to this person who like completely misjudged the timeline and never responded to emails, multiple emails. And so, I mean, but we responded with grace and understanding and offered to do what we could to make it right. But I think when a business handles it that way, it says more about the business than it does about the person leaving the bad review. I'm going to have him go ahead and read the original post because I don't know if everyone was there. And I also don't know if it's been posted yet. So I'm going to go ahead and have him reread original post, and then we'll do the update and top comments.
Okay. Am I the astronaut for telling my wife my childhood friend will never forgive her for what she did? Okay, this was posted OG July 14th, 2025. My wife, 32 female, and I, 34 male, have been married for 6 years, together for 10. We have a 4-year-old son. A few years ago, my close childhood friend, 34 female, got married. We've been extremely close since we were kids. Both of our families were dysfunctional in different ways. At one point, my dad cheated on my mom with her mom. They got married. Divorced a year later, and we basically ended up abandoned by both sides. Through all that, we became really close with each other. She even has 2 tattoos that relate to our bond. I would have gotten a tattoo, but I'm sort of scared of needles. My wife was actually close to my friend too, and never showed signs of being insecure about our friendship until postpartum hit. After our son was born, she really struggled. Her emotions were all over the place, and she became extremely insecure about my relationship with my friend. I was supposed to be the man of honor at my friend's wedding, help plan things, and be a big part of the ceremony, but my wife was so anxious and uncomfortable, she begged me to not attend. It made me really sad, but I chose my wife. I told my friend I couldn't go and told her why. She was really hurt by it. Not angry, just really sad, but said she understood. A couple of months later, my wife fully recovered and apologized, both to me and my friend. I forgave her. My friend, however, did not. When my wife reached out to my friend to apologize, my friend was polite but direct. She said she never wanted to speak to her again. She didn't yell or make a scene, she just drew a boundary. Honestly, I get it. It was a once-in-a-lifetime day, and she'd leaned on me for years, and I bailed. I still feel guilty about it. My friend and I still talk regularly, nothing inappropriate, we're just close, always have been. Recently, my wife asked if there was any chance my friend would forgive her. I told her the truth. No. That ship sailed. My wife got sort of quiet and looked sad and hasn't brought it up again, but I wonder if I was too blunt. Am I the astronaut for not giving my wife hope and just telling her forgiveness probably isn't happening? Okay. Relevant comments on that one. The AITA had no consensus mod. OP received mixed responses, but leaning toward YTA, which is surprising to me because I'm like, what are you supposed to do? Lie to her? Okay, relevant comments here. Commenter 1, asking out of genuine curiosity, how's this going to work? Is your bestie going to skip all the life milestones and celebrations on your end? Or is it expected that she will be there and your wife is uncomfortable? Is it safe to assume your bestie isn't involved in your child's life? I'm just trying to fully understand the situation. OP's response, which was downvoted, surprisingly, it doesn't actually change too much. We've always had our own little way of celebrating milestones, just the two of us. Like for birthdays, promotions, or any personal wins, we usually do something simple but meaningful, like grabbing dinner at our favorite spot, exchanging gifts, or just spending a few hours catching up. That's always been our tradition, even before we had other people in our lives. Obviously, the bigger get-togethers with all 4 of us, me, my wife, her husband, won't be happening anymore, but those weren't really the core of our friendship. She's not involved in my child's life, and I'm not looking to be involved in her future kid's life either. We actually agreed a while back that keeping our friends separate from family stuff was the healthiest way to go. Too many complications otherwise. And yeah, my wife and her used to hang out occasionally, but that part of things has naturally ended now. Quick question while I'm taking a drink before the second comment. Is that weird? Is it weird that they have
Yes.
had this, like, just the two of them,
I mean, yeah, I find it weird.
and they decided it would be best to keep, like, everyone else out of that?
I don't think continuing a friendship with someone who, I mean, I get it. I feel differently about postpartum depression. I take it seriously, and I f***ing understand it. She messed up. Her mental health was in jeopardy. She acted irrationally, which is not a normal thing for her. It was a mental health crisis, in my opinion, and it should have been treated way before it was. But I don't think this is a healthy example of how to, like, having a friend that is dismissing your partner. I don't think that's a healthy relationship to have.
So the follow-up question to that, is it is it OP's responsibility to continue to try to foster some kind of healing between those two?
I mean, if someone said this to me about you, my answer would be, I'm sorry that you feel this way, but that was out of character for this person, and your inability to receive their apology is not something that I can handle and move forward in this relationship. So that's me. Like, he obviously chose differently, but I would not. So
okay.
Let's read comments too, because I think it is a little bit more eye-opening.
Dive into this more. I know we already did, but it's fresh. It's a fresh take on it. You know what I mean? It's a new day. Second comment here, everybody is congratulating you for choosing your wife, but I don't see it that way. Seems you technically did choose her, but you were too honest with your friend. Yes, too honest is a real thing. She didn't need to know the ins and outs of your wife's mental health crisis, but you shared that with your friend to make the excuse of picking my wife. You turned the situation into a friend versus wife scenario around the time it was really a wife versus her own mental health situation. As the father of a newborn or baby who's a few months old, you could have made the excuse for not attending the wedding without sharing the insecurity aspect of your wife's struggles. The friend didn't need to know that information if you were truly picking your wife. Solid point. It would have been harder, but the fact that you are allowing your friend to maintain no contact with the wife while y'all hang out and do whatever is shady to me. Your wife and you should be a package deal. If you really were picking her, then that would be the case. Surely your wife drove the decision, and sure, you technically picked correctly, but since then you have abandoned your wife with her guilt over an incident that happened when she was out of her mind. You aren't working to help resolve the conflict or smooth things over. You're letting your wife know that she shouldn't expect your best friend to treat her better because she's so awful to have needed you during her PPD. That is trash behavior, and I truly hope you recognize that, and instead of just letting your friends treat your wife like she doesn't exist, set your own boundaries and say, look, I know it wasn't ideal, but I needed to be with my family and they aren't going anywhere. So if you continue to blame and ostracize my wife, which, hey, you can totally do that, your choice, just know I can't allow somebody who can't hold sympathy for my life partner to be my best friend. That title is important and means things, and one of those things is not being a jerkwad to my wife. After all, if you can forgive me for supporting her during that time, why can't you forgive her for this?
Boom.
Regardless of how you handle this going forward, if your best friend and your wife are no contact, eventually you'll have to pick a side again. And it seems like you haven't picked wife's side in a hot while. YTA. All right. And
that is the comment for me. Like,
it makes a hell of a lot of
sense. We
did
not touch on that perspective of, yes, you chose your wife. But I mean, I think we kind of
only
touched the
formality.
surface on the other, when we read over this. So that to me was like, it explained perfectly, and it was really well broken down and understanding of, I feel like, all parties. But I agree 100% with that comment.
Yeah, agreed.
And I hope the husband took it seriously. I really do.
That connects a lot of the dots that I was looking for whenever I was wanting to dive deeper and say, like, look, I mean, as your husband, this was a really, really selfish thing for him to do. This is the equivalent of him having his cake and eating it too, and only choosing to let his wife be the bearer of the pain for his wife to pay the cost.
To me, it screams I wanted a reason not to have to deal with your wife, and now I've got it. And I may be completely off base, but like you said, we're a package deal. If you want to be friends with one, you treat the other with respect.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't work. If you can't do that, it does not work.
I don't exist sans my wife.
Yeah. Not in that way. Like this, I agree. It is very shady on both of their parts, friend and husband.
Yeah. Agreed. And it's going to be interesting because what's going to happen someday whenever OP's bestie goes through PPD.
Yes, I really
out of her mind.
I hope that she has a fresh understanding if she chooses to have children. I think all women feel the emotional, the heightened hormones, all of that stuff, the crashing down. I think it's a normal feeling postpartum. But where it makes you think things, where it makes you act out of character, like those are very, very, like, we all know the stories. We've all seen it. It is a real thing.
We finally get into the updates. 2, am I the astronaut for telling my wife my childhood friend will never forgive her for what she did? Update 5 days later. Wow, I didn't expect the sheer gravity of responses I got. Reading through everyone's perspectives really opened my eyes. A lot of you reminded me that my wife went through a really tough mental condition postpartum, and regardless of how much it hurt my friend, my wife does not deserve to be punished forever for it. So a couple of days ago, I had a long, honest talk with my friend. I told her that my wife and I are a package deal, and while I understood why she was so hurt and disappointed, my wife had already repented and apologized enough. I told her that if she truly valued our friendship, she needed to hash it out with my wife so we could all move forward together. Okay, we're heading in the right direction, finally, right? It was a really emotional conversation. My friend was very sad at first, and we talked a lot about the past and how things had changed. Eventually, she agreed. Later that day, she called my wife, apologized for holding that grudge, and accepted my wife's apology too, and they had a nice, happy talk. My wife was honestly so relieved and happy it felt like a huge weight was lifted. During my talk with my friend, she also said she really misses hanging out with me like we used to before all this marriage drama. She said she would accept the apology, but she just wants to spend more one-on-one time with me again. I accepted that, told her I appreciated her honesty, and assured her that I still value our friendship deeply. She seemed really happy about it. So yeah, that's probably my final update. My wife is happy, my friend has let go of the resentment, and I feel like I finally did right by both of them. Thank you for all of your advice. It really helped me see what I needed to do. Top comments here. Commenter 1, everyone congratulating you on picking your wife when you clearly said you plan to spend more one-on-one time with a woman who caused significant problems in your marriage and lacks the compassion to understand PPD. Still not picking the wife. Still an asshole. It kind of feels that way, right? He did the formality thing again. He's like, well, technically, I picked you. It only cost me a lot more one-on-one time with her directly. Commenter 2, okay, so from the previous post, it sounded like your wife was going through postpartum, dealing with a lot of insecurity and mental illness, and she needed you at her side. Meanwhile, there's this other woman that is not your wife, that has tattoos related to your bond that is very close to you. It's kind of impossible for her not to feel a type of way about it deep down. Regardless of all that fact, your wife was going through some really horrible times birthing your kid. Are men this incapable of realizing the toll childbirth takes on a woman's body? Because in the first post, you literally sounded like you blamed your wife as well and resented her for needing you to do your job as her partner. Still, she apologized to you and your friend, but your friend still held a grudge unnecessarily, might I add, because when it came to your wife, none of it was done maliciously. You had to basically give your friend an ultimatum in order to accept your wife's apology. You do realize she wasn't going to take that apology. If you didn't phrase it to her, she would also lose you, right? And it's proven when after all that, she still requests to have only one-on-one time with you. Sir, you are a husband and a father. Like, are we reading the same thing? Where is the emotional maturity everybody's talking about with you? It literally took Reddit to push you to use your brain to realize as a married man and a father, you should put your wife and kids' needs first. Your wife deserves better, because what the hell is this? Just no. All right, let's talk about this for a second, Tater. I know there are some people who feel very differently in chat, and I'm interested to see their reactions here too.
Continuing to ramp up their one-on-one time will result in a slow death to their marriage. And if people disagree, that's totally fine. Like, we have different opinions on how we view things, and that's totally okay. But I do feel like if he just placated them, right? Like, he just checked the boxes in order to squash this, but he's still doing what he intended to do in the original post, in my opinion. So
it was what I feel like happened here was she negotiated. Yeah. She negotiated this. She's like, okay, I will tell her I accept this apology, but it's going to cost you. And it's going to cost you more one-on-one time together. Look, OP just had a kid.
Yeah.
OP's bestie, which we have to keep this in mind. They're besties because they went through a lot of shit together growing up, right? They went through some shit. They have a strong bond, understood. But OP's bestie here just took that as an opportunity to have more selfish time with him. So it's not, she's like, okay, I'll make it look like she's getting a dub, but it's going to be an L. Wifey got handed another L here, and she doesn't even know it. That's the shitty part. I guarantee you, OP didn't march home and be like, hey, I'm glad you guys talked and she accepted your apology and you had this bond. I do need to let you know that she did request to spend a lot more one-on-one time with me in order to do that, because then wife would have been like, what the f***? That wasn't even an apology then.
Right. I just, this would not work for me. And if it works for you as the wife in this relationship, that's great. Like, that's great if you don't care about this and you're that person and that's fine for you, like, good. But for me, no, I'm not. This isn't working for me.
Yeah.
And I have no shame in admitting that.
I mean, look, like I have old buddies from high school
Right.
that I still get to hang out with like every once in a blue moon, and like you don't hang out with them. You know them though.
Yeah.
And then there's no problem between there, but it's like and I don't think there's any kind of problem with having a friend that is not like a couples group friend.
For
you're,
sure.
You're
yeah.
allowed to have friends.
That's not the issue. I think the issue for me is that it took an ultimatum. It just feels icky. Like, the whole thing just feels icky. Like, all of I don't want to spend time with your wife. I want to spend time one-on-one with you. And like, which is totally fine. Like, it is fine. But this, like, the tattoos and the things, like, it's just all of it. It just feels icky to me.
So they are each other's emotional support person.
Yes, that's 100% what it feels like.
Can you have an emotional support person that's different from your spouse? Does that work?
For me in a relationship, no. This would not make me feel comfortable, but I would have never married this person.
Am I the astronaut for telling a patient they're not allergic to pain? So I'm a dentist, and some days are normal, and some days a patient hits you with a line so wild you wonder if you're still in dental school dreaming. This woman comes in clearly in pain and tells my assistant loudly, "I refuse any needles, numbing, or anesthesia. I'm severely allergic to pain." The rant continues to fill the room as the assistant silently takes a picture and an x-ray of where the patient is having pain. I hear this from down the hall and I'm like, allergic to pain? Not the meds? The pain itself? What's the history of her experiences? I walk in and try to clarify. Do you mean you're allergic to lidocaine or anesthesia in general? She looks me dead in the eye and goes, "No, I'm allergic to pain. I can't have it. My body rejects it."
Me too.
I say, "Ma'am, do you have drug or food allergies?" She denies. And then I address her concern of pain by acknowledging her symptoms. Pain is a sign of some sort of diseased tissue, and you're suffering from an infected wisdom tooth. We can treat the pain by removing the source of the infection, being your decayed wisdom tooth, and give you antibiotics to help your body heal from the bacteria that caused this. She then says she knew that and just wants a holistic extraction. Hold on. Is a holistic extraction like a pair of pliers and a swift motion? And even then, you got the tissue to deal with, right? Like, it's not gonna, I don't think there's a holistic extraction that will solve this problem. Like, I'm gonna light up some sage next to her molar and spook it out of her skull or chant until the root lets go. I explain that's not how modern dentistry works unless we're in 1402 and holding a bottle of whiskey and a rusty spoon where there's lots of risks. Mind you, life expectancy has gone up a lot since then because dentistry has evolved to reduce the comorbidities that dental diseases are linked to. That'd be an interesting study to dive into. She gets mad, full caps lock mad, and says, "Why do I even come in here if you don't respect patient preferences? I'm not trying to be drugged."
Full caps lock Matt is brilliant.
We got to keep that.
That
I told her I wouldn't want to feel pain, but as soon as there is an anesthetic around the site of the pain, we can treat the infection with no pain. She can take the two options under the standard of care I provide or take a referral to a local hospital. She storms out and leaves a 1-star Google review that says, "Dentist refused treatment because I'm allergic to pain. Unprofessional and dismissive." So now I'm sitting here wondering, am I the astronaut for refusing to yank somebody's molar out raw because they claimed pain is a medical allergy? By the way, be nice to your dentist. They are highly trained, overworked, and have to not only be a dentist, but a team leader, friend, mentor, patient educator, business owner, and now therapist. First of all, Doc.
This is so...
handled it very, very well.
I mean, what would you say? Like, what would you say if my body rejects pain, but yet here you are in my office with said pain.
So
your body rejects it. How are you? I don't know.
Choose your pain, right? It is a choose your pain scenario, right? You already have pain.
Well,
We're trying to get rid of it. We're trying to let your body reject it. We have to induce a little bit of pain to end the bigger pain that you have.
I mean, if she doesn't get the infected tooth out, like that can definitely be life-threatening issues there. So I'm like, I choose to live.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, nobody likes getting shots in their mouth at the dentist. I mean, I mean, if you do, like,
Never
cool
heard
story,
of a,
bro.
Never heard of a lidocaine mouth junkie who's just like,
yeah, I really want you to stick that
see him
needle.
on the street, laying on the sidewalk. Just,
I feel so much better now.
Oh my
I
gosh.
can just ignore my shitty life.
Like, nobody wants pain, but it does alert us if something is wrong with our body.
I feel like I wouldn't be a great dentist.
You would have no sympathy.
I would have no sympathy. And as soon as this
You'd be like, "Shut the fuck up."
I get in there and I'm like, okay, here's what I can do. And she's like,
Bring the sage.
are you not listening? I am allergic to pain. And I'd be like, I'm allergic to stupid. So
Yes.
deuces. Am I the astronaut for buying my own dinner because I don't like what the in-laws order? I'd like to preface by saying I am not a picky person. I don't just turn down food. I'm always willing to try new things, even if they're weird or unconventional. One of my favorite things to do is pick out something I've never tried in the grocery store. But my in-laws are hooked on this one take and bake pizza joint that I just can't stand. I've tried to like it. I've ordered so many different things off their menu, I just don't like it. They order it for every single family event, every get-together, every holiday, every birthday. I started ordering my own meals to bring them to the parties. They got upset when they realized what I was doing. I explained that I like ordering my own food because it's a chance to get a treat for myself that I don't normally order. Still, they're always trying to convince my partner to get me to change my mind and just eat the same pizza as everyone else. This Halloween, we had all planned to get together for a Halloween party. My partner and I had actually planned out a fun homemade meal, pasta bar for everyone, but mother-in-law became very upset that we weren't getting pizza.
Why?
She put her foot down so hard that we thought there'd be an actual honest-to-God fight about it, so we told her she could order the take and bake she wanted. And of course, I was going to run to the store and get my own favorite pizza. She became so angry. She insisted that I eat what she ordered, what everyone else was getting, and even offered to buy me anything that sounded good off the menu. I told her again, I don't like anything on that menu, and that I'm perfectly willing to go and buy myself something I do enjoy instead. She's still angry with me. Father-in-law is angry with me. They try it again and again to convince me, they always do, to get something off the take and bake menu. But I just don't like it. Am I the astronaut for buying my own takeout instead of what's being served at this party? Edit because there's questions. My partner is always supportive of me and would never try to make me eat something I don't like. He does stand up for me and tells them, just like I do, that I just don't like the place. He's a lot more confident about standing up than I am, to be honest. But even when he gets them to back down, the issue is brought right back up the very next time we eat together. And yes, we were planning on hosting and cooking everything. We had actually bought all the ingredients already. But when she gets upset, it's a whole big thing that could last for days and ruin the whole party. So it's really a pick your battles thing. Have everyone together for Halloween, or have a silly fight over pasta versus pizza and miss Halloween altogether trying to do damage control. It's a mess. It sounds like a mess. It really does.
It's a pick your battles thing. I think the time has come to pick your battles because it's not going away.
Are we gonna pick none of the battles?
I think this is the battle to, like, if it keeps happening, like, you just want to, this is so weird. Why are you trying to police what people eat? Just let them eat what they want.
Maybe they own like this franchise location of the take and bake pizza stuff. And they're like, just invested. Trying to, they're invested. So they probably get it for nothing. And then they're just trying to force it down your throats. I don't know why you would, what reason do you have to force it on someone?
Good golly said, this is such a weird power play. And it kind of feels like that, because why else would you be like, father-in-law's mad, father-in-law's mad because mother-in-law told him to be mad. I mean, that's how I feel like, or maybe he really cares about the pizza. I don't know. But what the fuck? Like, just let people eat what they want. She's not asking you to pay for it. And also, they're hosting. They got the ingredients for like a pasta bar, which sounds amazing. And mother-in-law threw a fit because they weren't getting pizza. That's how I would say it too.
Not just pizza, but like the same
take and bake one. Yeah.
Pizza place every time.
I would just, so next time you host, I would just be like, yeah, we're getting pizza, and not say anything. And then
have it be pizza from somewhere else.
Get a different pizza place. And yeah, it just feels so controlling to me. 100%. There's no other explanation.
I don't know, the specific reasons don't even matter, I guess, because it is just a power play. It is just for control. And this is like I am the matriarch, you shall do what I say kind of moment.
Yeah.
And all of that. Like,
I would pick this battle.
you're a grown ass person. You can choose what you eat
Yeah.
on your own. And the matriarch can choose for whoever she wants. Definitely for herself. But no, just no. Just no. Let her be mad. That's the problem, though.
Yeah,
like
that's
everybody's
100%.
caved to her whim every time, and now you know it's going to be hell if you ever did say no, which is what she's counting on. She's counting on you never choosing that pain.
Yes, I was like, she's willing to die on this hill, so maybe you should be too. Maybe then you won't be having this pizza forced down your throat anymore. Also, on your pasta bar, was it like, did you have like a bunch of different noodles and sauces and then meat or whatever veggies to put in the pasta? Very intrigued by the pasta bar.
Well, it's a pasta bar. I can't imagine
Like,
it would
it
just
just
be
sounds so good.
I'm down for a pasta bar.
Like a little bow tie,
Let's do that. Am I the astronaut for answering a trap question wrong? I was watching a movie the other night and my girlfriend was next to me scrolling on TikTok. At one point, she showed me a video where a girl asks her boyfriend, "Who would you be with if I wasn't born?" And he replies with something like, "Then I wouldn't exist either." That type of corny ass shit. And then she turns to me and asks the same question. I didn't think it was a serious or emotional moment. I thought we were just talking hypothetical. So I said something along the lines of, "If you were never born, I'd probably be with someone else. My life would have gone differently." And at no point while saying this did your brain be like, whoa, 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 pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. She immediately went quiet and then told me she felt hurt. She said I should have said something more meaningful, like "no one," or "I wouldn't be the same without you." I told her I didn't mean anything bad, just if someone never existed, I wouldn't know they were missing, and that life would go on naturally a different direction. That doesn't mean I don't value our relationship now. Things escalated when I called her immature for starting an argument over a hypothetical question that was never meant to be that deep. She fired back saying I was the immature one for getting angry that she got upset in the first place. So now we're both just annoyed with each other, and it's left this awkward tension between us. I still feel like I didn't do anything wrong by being honest, but maybe I could have handled it better. LOL. I feel like I'm getting rage baited so bad, but she's mad for real. She's all caps mad. She all caps mad.
I feel like this is like funny, haha, mad instead of like real mad. I wouldn't be all caps mad. I would be like, it would be funny, haha.
It
like,
should be.
Jestfully fighting.
Yes, we would do this. And Jennifer Twather says, "Would you love me if I was a worm?" Energy. Yeah, definitely feel
right.
that. Look, okay.
Yeah, no.
If you in a relationship take things like this seriously and get this hurt a lot, like we wouldn't survive.
That's exhausting.
Because you had like hurt your knee or something the other day, and we're walking to Navy's room, and and she was walking with a little bit of a limp because it was sore. And I'm behind her, and I say, because I know she can take this kind of stuff and know that it's a joke, I say, "I just want you to know that if this is permanent, I'm not sticking around."
Maybe I was caps lock mad.
She wasn't though, because she knows I joke. And this is where I'm going with this. If you guys actually know each other, she would have known that you were going to take this very literally, and that you were going to be like, "Oh yeah, if the universe had gone a different direction, if everybody had lived different lives, and if you didn't exist, obviously I would end up with someone else. That possibility definitely exists." Failing to see that this is an emotional, like, cute moment attempt, and you were seeing it as like a real hypothetical, and took it literally. Hopefully she'd know you well enough to know that you would do that. Hopefully you would know her well enough to know what she was trying to do. So this is an ESH to me, because it's like, you guys, it's a failure of communication, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's an NTA. Like, I feel like I understand like being annoyed because he didn't answer it in the cute way you wanted him to answer it, but being real mad, like actual mad, like that's too far for me. I don't think this is one of those moments where you get to be mad.
I do agree with that.
It's just it is a trap question. If you're expecting him to answer a certain way and he doesn't give you that answer, then you just set yourself up to be pissed. Like, you don't, like, I don't think this is, from the previous story, this is not the hill to die on, and I don't think this is worth getting actually mad about. Like, if you didn't exist, you wouldn't exist.
Okay.
You've seen the movies when people get erased.
I'm
They forget about him.
I'm ESH because he should have seen this coming. Her mad madness definitely weights her. She's a bigger asshole than he is for sure because of the mad madness.
Yeah.
If it was just a miscommunication and they were able to reset and move on, cool. But her being mad, like doubling down on it, that definitely, it's not just an everyone sucks. It's a lopsided everyone sucks.
Yeah, I mean, if you went with ESH, I would hope you would put him at like 4.
Obviously,
I don't think
we've been together for a long time.
Yeah, I don't think he's the asshole at all. I think you would have answered something like, you probably would have been a dog and then I would have just like adopted you as my pet. That's how I imagine you answering this question. Probably a cat, if we're being honest. A cat that taps the water bowl.
You would be the cat that goes and knocks over shit just to see me pick it up.
100%.
Yeah. Caught my husband flirting. Last night I came home from work and found my husband asleep in bed with his phone on playing videos. I grabbed his phone and tried to figure out how to close the video. I have an iPhone, he has a Samsung, so the mechanics are different. In my fumblings, I started closing out windows he had open and my eye caught part of a message he sent someone, so I looked. It was a message of him telling another woman how upset he was that the water on the mirror of her bathroom selfie took from the picture, and he added how effing hot he's always found her. Yep, that got my attention and down the rabbit hole I went. Every selfie she took where she was, over-exaggeratingly flaunting her butt or cleavage, there he was with his little heart emojis. Comments about how amazed he was that she's always somehow remained to look as good as when they first met. I poked around to the other girls on his profile and nope, he didn't talk to anyone else like that, just this one specific girl. I saw enough. I left the phone where it was and didn't bother to close anything else. When he woke up, he was upset that I didn't want to hug him and asked why I was being so cold. So I told him I found the message. At first, he denied it, tried laughing it off and saying he'd never say that to anybody. Then I told him I saw it for myself, and if he opens his messages, he can see it too. Busted. Then he tried telling me I was taking it all wrong. She's just a friend and was going through a rough spell, that he believed she was depressed, and he said that to boost her spirits. Okay, I'm glad he restored her confidence. Mine is shattered. For the next hour, I let him talk. He just rambled and defended himself over and over. She's just a friend. Nothing happened. Nothing will happen. Nothing has ever happened. He doesn't understand why I'm so upset over nothing, and he tried to laugh it off, and I yelled, I'm upset. I'm your f***ing wife, and I'm the only one you should be talking to like that. Again, he got defensive and started telling me that I'm overreacting. Oh boy, that's not a common freaking bullshit move at all. The whole time, that's all he did. Just made excuses and defended himself. I told him none of that was making me feel any better about what he did. He got really upset when I told him I heard all this "she's just a friend" crap before from other exes and asking him why I should believe him. He said, oh, so I'm like them now. You bitch. I let him talk and ramble. Excuses, stories about what his ex did to him, telling me he loves only me, and also took this opportunity to try to make himself the victim in all this. Oh, you would dare say that about me?
It's like he's teaching gaslighting 101.
My goodness, what? If only he were predictable. Finally, I just looked at him and said, we've been at this for over an hour and you've said a lot, but there's something you didn't say. He asked me what, and I told him, if I have to say it for you, you will never be able to say it to me because I had to tell you. And he demanded I say it, so I screamed at him, I'm f***ing sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry that what I did hurt you. That got him more defensive because then he started yelling he was trying to apologize to me, but I wasn't listening to him. I've been listening to him. I was listening to him the entire time. I was waiting for the apology that never came. He spent the whole time defending himself. I shut down after that. I was drained. I went to bed and he followed me in and tried hugging me, and I told him to get his hands off me. I cried myself to sleep for what little sleep I could get. Now he's in bed sleeping and I'm awake in the living room writing this because I can't stand to be near him. Comment. Been there, done that. Tried so hard to make myself believe him. Turns out he was in an affair for 1.5 years with her. All the while I was struggling with a cognitive dissonance so bad that I thought I was going crazy. Excuse me, I gotta take a drink. I began drinking too much and checking his phone while drunk. I have memories of taking pictures of the proof on my phone, then fighting with him until I pass out and everything would be deleted the next day from both my phone and his, and he would try to convince me none of it ever happened. He literally made me question my sanity. The very first signs of the affair were the liking of her posts on social media. Trust your gut and don't waste another minute of your one life with someone who treats you this way. I wasted over a decade.
I didn't catch this when I read it and selected it, but he said she was going through something and he was trying to build her confidence. So he was trying to build her confidence by telling her to clean her mirror. Like that's the message that she saw. Like he's like, you know, what would be make you like more strong and confident is if you wiped off your mirror.
So at the same time, he's grooming his AP. He's also trying to groom her to be a better housekeeper.
Apparently.
It's like, man, those water spots are really just distracting. If you could get better at, you know, doing stuff, then he'd be even hotter.
This is like 100% definition of gaslighting. Deflect, victimize themselves, and then make you think that you're wrong for asking for an apology. Also, in my opinion, apology is not enough. Like this is so far past the line. The line is a dot to him. And I don't think an apology is going to fix this situation. Clearly, there's something going on. Clearly, he's doing something in these posts or talking to this girl in some way, shape, or form. And they've met somehow.
Yeah.
He said that they've met. Like
You've been able to maintain your body since we first met.
Yes, 100%. Like this is not apology. This is like, you need to decide, like, this is the signs of an affair, and you need to decide if you want to move forward and what the groveling and apology would look like.
Okay,
because
so
this guy is an unaccountable asshole.
Here's the question I have then. This is obviously not okay.
Yeah, Coldplay's playing in the background. That's right. Good golly.
This is definitely not okay. We know that. Putting yourself in her shoes here, if you were like, okay, I feel like there's an affair going on, I feel like I would be in the position of wanting to verify it before making the decision to like end my marriage over it. The behaviors are not okay. The behavior not being able to apologize, the gaslighting is not okay. These are all things that you could potentially work through. But if there's an affair going on and all that is going on, that'd be like deal breaker, right? So
100%.
How would you go about trying to verify whether this is or is not an actual affair? Would you reach out to the other girl? Is that the thing?
I mean, this kind of is an affair, right? Like he's telling another woman
emotional, if nothing else, but you would want to know if it was physical too, right?
I mean, I would want to know, but in my opinion, this is like this crosses every line for me.
Okay,
like pulling up in someone's DMs like this and talking about how sexy they are, and
definitely not okay.
Like it's this to me is cheating.
But I agree. This is emotional cheating, right? Yeah. But I would want to know if it was also physical cheating.
Yeah.
Or do you just assume it is because of all this, and you're like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm convinced it happened. So whether you try to disprove it or not doesn't matter because I am indifferent.
To me, it seems like there is something more going on because he defended so hard about why he was doing it. It was like there was no like you're right. I f***ed up. I messed up. It was defend my actions.
Am I the astronaut for embarrassing a girl who was hitting on my boyfriend because I didn't tell her I was his girlfriend? My boyfriend, 21 male, and I, 21 female, both go to the same university, but we study two very different things. I do history and he does engineering and biology. He's taking summer classes to get some credits out of the way. He had to do a project with a partner chosen by the professor. He was partnered with a girl neither of us knew and who he hadn't talked to much in the class. They met the first time and he said he felt a little uncomfortable but didn't know why. As I work on campus and had a shift later Wednesday, I said I could come in earlier and just sit in the cafe near them so he would at least have me around. He agreed. I'm red flagging right now because like if you're uncomfortable with someone already to the point where you're going to have your significant, your sig of come like babysit a situation, I'm like, I guess what do you do though? The professor has done this, but red flagging the situation. Turns out the reason why my boyfriend didn't know why he was uncomfortable was that she was flirting with him, but in the way where you can't quite tell the difference between if it's flirting or just being nice. I wasn't a fan, but she also wasn't crossing any major lines. My boyfriend would figure it out soon enough. I was feeling a little bit claws out, but I put my headphones back in and knew if anything crazy happened, he would text me. Later, he went to the bathroom and I decided that I would save her some embarrassment. I went up and told her in a hey girly kind of way that I was pretty sure he had a girlfriend. She just stared at me and asked why I thought it was my business. I go back to my stuff and text my boyfriend that not only is she flirting with him, when I went over to nicely let her know that he was not single, she was rude and did not care. I did tell him that I had not told the girl I was his girlfriend. He says he will handle it. When he comes back, he waits for one more almost flirty comment before he hits her with, you know I have a girlfriend, I'd appreciate it if you stop flirting with me. She doubled down, I fear. I didn't hear what was said exactly, but I got the gist. My boyfriend said later that it was along the lines of, she can't be as good as me if you didn't talk about her before.
Okay.
Princess, that you? This is where I may have been the asshole. My boyfriend, angry now, started to pack his stuff to leave. I wanted to get back at this girl a little bit for what she said to me and what I assumed she said to him. She was apologizing and asking him to stay and finish. I came up and gave her a big smile before asking my boyfriend, "Are you ready to go, lovely?" We left, and I didn't think anything of it after we calmed down. Figure it would be a funny story to share with my coworkers and with my parents, and that was that. This morning, I got a text from a friendly acquaintance of mine from a class last fall asking if I had been the girlfriend. She then sent me a longer text saying that it was really mean the way I hadn't told her friend I was the girlfriend, and that her friend had cried for a while because of what I had done. Now I've been overthinking about it, and I'm really wondering if I was the asshole. My boyfriend says that I'm not, but he's not the most unbiased party, so I thought I would ask. Dude, how did this bizzo successfully victimize herself to her friend group? She's not upset about that. She's upset because she got rejected. How is this not crystal clear to you?
If someone tells you to back off and stop flirting with them, back the off and stop flirting with them. But that crosses a line like so far.
Oh, her ego
100% her ego got
dinged.
bruised. And
she's like, "I'm sorry, no one's
Yeah.
ever told me no. Challenge accepted."
why, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm better. What did she say? I'm pretty sure that I'm better than her.
She can't be as good as me because
Yeah.
if she were, you would have talked about her already. You know who this is?
I'm like, this is like the second time they've met. And she's like, you haven't brought her up yet.
Despicable Me Too. The gal that neighbor gal tries to set grew up with, and they go to that restaurant, the Italian restaurant. He's wearing a wig, and she's like, "You got a funny accent. I know somebody who can clear that up for you in no time. Physical fitness is very important to Janet."
She was told he had a girlfriend, said she didn't care. He told her he had a girlfriend and to stop flirting, and she basically said she didn't care. You are a walking red flag, babe. And then, you know what? There's a guy that's getting divorced in another story. You guys could argue till the sun comes up because you both seem a little cut from the same cloth. Woman or man, I don't care. If someone tells you no, back the fuck off. Like, no means no. That's it. No is a full sentence.
Yeah, this is just a distraction to
Right.
try to not look bad herself. Okay,
Her
that's
ego.
all this is.
Yeah.
And it's not just the ego. This is like, she is now thinking like, oh, what if the story gets out of her being this giant princess that got rejected here? Or just her behavior in general. Like, she's also trying to defend against herself, distract from the fact that she got rejected and that she did this whole Veruca assault thing, right? There's a lot going on, but it's all distraction. And that distraction has halfway worked because you're questioning yourself.
It's, to me, when she was the aggressor and then turns around and victimizes herself, it takes away from people that are actually in that situation, that are actually victims. And like, there is zero tolerance for that bullshit. And if I was OP, I would tell the friend that messaged you that and then say, we are no longer friends. Like, messaging me, bitching me out for something that you don't even know the full story on. I don't need that in my life. Here's what really happened. And your friend was an aggressor. Like, cause that to me is like,
Would
that's
you
over the line.
create this boundary with this friend and say we're not friends anymore, like before or after telling that friend what the real story is?
Real story, then tell her, because to come at you with this bullshit, like,
And just assuming
that you were a mean girl, which was not the case. Like, your boyfriend was uncomfortable. He asked for help and you helped him. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you somehow became the victim of this scenario because you didn't get what you wanted.
Yes.
Like, that's gross.
100%. Hey, Dusty Thunder here, and I wanted to thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that content, and if you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, and most importantly, share. Also, you can find swag and so much more at dusty-thunder.com, and you'll find even more content on all of our platforms. We're on TikTok, YouTube. We now have an official Facebook page that we'll be posting stories to as well. We have podcasts on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and so much more. You can see all of our content platforms on Linktree, which is linked in my bio. Engage with us wherever you're enjoying content, and do your best to avoid the Askonauts today. Thanks again.